What's up, everyone? How are y'all doing? Y'all see Tracy? She's gone. No, hey, she's finishing up the water for our tea tonight. Hope everyone's doing okay. Fantastic. What's going on, Glenda? Hey, Londa.
Hey.
And Tom.
Hey, friends.
Hey, Cheryl.
How are y'all? Let me get on my eyes so I can see what's going on here.
Over too far again.
This hair is wild tonight. Hey, Glenda. How are you doing? God, my hair's crazy.
Mine is too.
Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Londa and Tom.
Londa, Tom.
How's it going? Is it hot down there? It was summertime here today.
Summertime.
It was hot. What was it? 77?
77, 78.
It's crazy. Was it last week we were in snow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Lori. I just see where you just placed an order, Lori. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dorothy. Ashley's Homestead Adventures from Arkansas. Hello,
Yes.
Ashley.
Good to have you on here.
Yeah, it was warm today. In the 70s. It was nice. Super nice.
I bet it was warmer in Northern California.
Yeah.
Maybe
But I bet it was
know.
cold in the UK, huh, Tina? What's the weather there?
I'd like to go to the UK.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of Britnells in the UK.
Really?
I see them online. I don't have to be kin somehow, maybe.
Is that where y'all are from?
No, I
Hey,
was
Brenda.
I don't know.
Yeah, Gene's family tree lineage. His aunt did their genealogy, and they're they were Vikings.
And some were in the royal British family. British.
I'm sure your side was Viking.
I don't know. I was probably a
Hey, Rachel. Hey, Peggy Presley. 68 degrees in North Carolina today.
Wow.
Hey, Copper Island Homestead. I'm in the up of Michigan.
UP.
Oh.
In the upper peninsula.
Okay.
Upper peninsula, UP.
Sorry.
You're in the up.
You're in the up.
Heck yeah.
Better to be in the up than the down.
That's right.
Hey, Karen, 32 in Washington. No snow. Ugh.
Yeah, maybe Northern Cal ain't too warm.
Dorothy said we are cool and getting much needed rain.
That's
Good.
good.
Hey, Lynn. Tell the girls hello.
Continue to
Hey,
pray for
Avalon.
Pastor's daughter. She's still in the hospital on the ventilator.
Oh, my gracious. Planning to do a tracheotomy. Is that what it said?
Something ought to be.
Tracheostomy tomorrow. Please pray. Oh, gracious. Hey, Brenda.
My eyes are burning from watching TV, the computer screen all on today. Hey, Upper Peninsula. Yeah.
Lori said she ordered our apron tonight, and last week she ordered a new mug and a tea towel
nice.
and a spoon rest.
Those
nice.
mug towels are nice.
The tea towels?
Yeah.
Yep.
I like them. They're real thick linen.
They're pretty too.
17 degrees with a wind chill of 5.
Oh,
Woo.
154 inches of snow so far for the year.
So are you on an island out there?
God. Copper Island Homestead. That's a cool name.
Yeah, that's cool.
Here, let's
My
see.
gracious.
Making sure we've
154 inches of snow.
That's a lot of snow.
Let's see. Do the math.
Darn, it's a whole lot of snow.
That's almost 8.
An island in Lake Superior. Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, I bet it's beautiful.
You don't have a B&B available, do you?
I bet it is beautiful.
That is. Do you do any fishing out there? I bet fishing's awesome. Man, my eyes are burning.
I know it. Awesome. Well, tonight we're having some Just Diggin' Z's tea.
Oh boy.
We named our tea last week. Well, Diana, our groovy grandmother, groovy grandma from Toledo, Ohio, picked the name.
And another lady, I can't remember who it was. Oh no, I'm already yawning.
This is our sleepy tea, Just Diggin' Z's. It's got chamomile or chamomile, some dehydrated oranges, lemon balm, lemon verbena, some catnip, some anise hyssop, and a few other things. And usually a good measure for some tea is 1 tablespoon per 8 ounces.
Mercy.
So tonight we're doing a little bit different with our teapot. There's our tea. We've got these cute little cup diffusers, and probably by next week, these are going to be available on our shop, the farm stand, on our website, justdigitfarms.com. But aren't these cute? So you can just make 1 single serving of tea. And
hey, Lori Vineyard. Hey, good to have you on. Glad you made the live.
1 8-ounce cup of tea, 1 tablespoon of tea. And then we'll pour our hot water over it.
Hey, Peggy's husband. I am going for opposite of Kansas City.
Do what?
I'm going for Jalen Hurts, the Eagles.
All right.
Oh, you gonna give me
and
some?
Then whenever you're making herbal tea, you want to make sure you always have a lid over it so that it can steep in all of those volatile oils and all of that goodness.
Volatile.
Goodness.
I don't want no explosion.
Can stay in your cup. There you go.
Which one did you poison?
Remember,
how long has it got to sit in there?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Perfect amount of time.
Hey Siri, set me a timer for 10 minutes.
Isn't that beautiful? Herbal tea is just so beautiful.
Cape Cod, Massachusetts. 3 inches of snow last night. All gone. Temp speed in 40s. My gracious.
Who's
Thanks,
ready for
Michelle.
spring?
Thanks, Michelle. Michelle.
Who's ready for spring? Where's my lid?
Oh, I thought that was my lid. All right, everybody get your tea. Y'all can go ahead and drink.
Are y'all drinking tea tonight?
We got to wait on ours.
We got to wait about 10 minutes.
It's steeping.
Hey, Alexa, set me a timer for 10 minutes.
I already did that.
Oh, you did?
You didn't listen. That's okay. You got to wait till your timer goes off.
Who's drinking tea tonight? Tell us what you're drinking.
Oh, yeah. Michelle Bosworth, how you doing?
Michelle Ray, or Roy, is that I can't see real good, says she loves the mug and the tea towels. Thank you.
Good evening from Huntsville, Alabama. Hey,
thank you, everybody, for supporting us and ordering from our store.
Don't we know Michelle Bosworth?
I know the name.
She was at Chelsea. If it's the same
Michelle,
one.
are you from Chelsea?
But I thought she got married.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Good evening from
Y'all's
Huntsville,
Alabama.
Hey, Kelly.
Heck yeah.
Ooh, yummy.
Mullein tea here.
All right.
Mullein
tea is good for respiratory.
Mm-hmm.
Are you having respiratory issues? Hey, Joanne, it's okay. We're just chitty chatting, getting our tea steeping
having
here.
To wait.
Hey, Pop and Mom.
Hey, Britt Nails, y'all are getting Wi-Fi this week. Y'all got a new smart TV. Y'all gonna be watching on the big screen.
We're getting Pop and Mom set up over there. They got them a smart TV the other night, and Wi-Fi is coming tomorrow.
Wednesday. Yep.
Hey, Becky. Good.
Hey, okay, Roy from church. Yes.
From church.
Yes.
Oh my gracious.
How's your leg doing? Foot.
Ankle. I didn't put the name. I didn't put the well, I don't think I knew your last name.
I about ran into her. She had her leg sticking out there, and her husband said,
"Don't
do that."
You better not. Renee's drinking ginger honey. All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, Renee got one of our teacup diffusers. I didn't put my little handles out.
Uh-huh.
See, if you put your little handles out,
It
like
won't fall.
that,
It won't.
then
Yeah.
you can just do this.
And watch the volatile oils.
Yummy. Yummy,
Yes.
yummy, yummy.
I love spring, but I am not rushing through winter. The Arizona desert is wonderful right now. Sweet. What's the temperature? I bet
Thank you,
it's
Londa.
crazy how it's so hot during the day and at night it's cold.
Janet Stevens says, do you have any suggestions for a tea for colds? Yes. Roselle is really good for colds because it's high in vitamin C, antioxidants, all of the things. Mullein tea, which Susie's drinking mullein tea, is really good if you're having some respiratory issues like coughing and it helps break up. Mullein is mucilaginous, so it helps to coat and soothe and break up all of that congestion.
I hear you, Linda.
Lemon balm, lemon verbena, anything lemon, ginger, honey. Those are going to be really good for colds, vitamin C,
75.
antioxidants. We have another tea blend that I've created that we're calling Warm Winter Night that a lot of y'all helped me name last week. And it's full of oranges and roselle and all the lemons, lemon balm, lemon verbena, really good for colds and flus and the yuckies. What Annette with Calgar Max goat milk soaps and more at Annabelle Acres Farm in Kingston, Tennessee. Love your videos. Thank you, Annette. Thanks for joining us.
Helps with asthma. That's right, Susie.
Yep, it does.
Mullein's good. Grows all over the place. Side of the road. Everywhere.
It does. It's funny. Mullein is not actually native here. My hair is driving me crazy. It's going wild. It's not native here.
You got it wrapped around your glasses.
I know.
What in the world are you doing?
No. We're just gonna roll with it. So mullein's not native here, but it has colonized and it just grows crazy in our ditches on the side of the road. It's
lemon verbena
grows everywhere. Somebody drinking lemon verbena.
Londa and Tom.
All right, Londa.
And if you put honey in it.
Oh yeah, honey. Add honey to everything because honey in itself, just by itself, is so healing and so good for you. Like it is a natural antibiotic.
Speaking of that, I'm having a little. I said I won't have no honey tonight, but I'm gonna get me some honey.
Speaking of honeybees, can anybody guess? Y'all might have seen our post on Facebook or Instagram today. Yep. Renee did. Can anybody guess what I've been doing? What we have been doing?
What now?
What we have been doing. It takes two of us.
It's always
all week, last week, and today, and the weekend.
It's a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine.
It is a huge, huge process.
That's so good.
A pot, not a lot.
Salves. Beeswax.
Well, I have been doing salves. I've been making salves, but what we've really been working on is beeswax. We have been rendering our beeswax from our honeybees. So for 3 years now, I've been saving up beeswax whenever we harvest honey from our bees or just when we, work in our bees, we save any of the wax. We try to leave as much of the wax as we can for the bees so they don't have to start all over.
Well, when we do the process and we, sling it and all and we scrape it, there's a lot of wax that goes down in there as junk. And as we filter it, we have a bunch of wax just sitting there. So we melt it down and use it.
You're right, Michelle. Beeswax. Lisa Ann Tish McFarland. Good evening from Erie, Pennsylvania. Hey, Lisa.
So eerie.
So what we do is we save it and then I rinse it. I wash it really good in water. I let it sit in a 5-gallon bucket and clean it the best that I can because it's full of honey, bee parts, pollen,
other
larvae, all kinds of stuff. Like it's really pretty nasty looking. So we let it sit and soak and I rinse it out. And then I've been putting it in Ziploc gallon size bags, putting it in this little freezer that we have. And I've been saving it up for about 3 years, mostly because I've been putting it off.
How many pounds do you end up
Because
with?
it is a job.
Was it like 27 pounds, 30 pounds?
30 pounds,
30
I think.
pounds of beeswax.
I think I'm still doing it. I'm still working on it. I've got some in the refrigerator right now, trying to harden up so that I can pour more. But I think if my calculations are right, we're going to end up with about 320 of these.
I forgot her name. Copper Island. Check this out. I'm going to show you.
So this, I'm pouring them up.
Go ahead.
What is it?
I thought that was big blocks of it.
Oh, no, we don't have any more big blocks. I've been taking all of those big blocks, putting them in a crock pot, an old crock pot, melting it down, and then pouring it up in these molds and getting 1 ounce bars, because those big old blocks, like
they look like big old blocks of hoot cheese.
They do.
I mean,
they were really thick because we had so much. But they whenever you're making recipes and you're using beeswax, usually it calls for like 1 ounce of beeswax or 2 ounces of beeswax, and that big old chunk of wax, like it's too difficult to use it. So I've melted it down. Once we got it all clean, then I've taken those chunks and been melting them down and pouring them up in these little molds and making 1 ounce bars, so that whenever we make product, it's like measured out for me and I just chunk it in there. So I think we're going to end up with about 320 to 350 of these.
So we use that for salves,
gold bars,
chapstick, whatever. Yes, Linda, we'll have We'll have a warm winter's night available before too long. Maybe.
I know. I'm going to tell you something else I've been doing this week.
Studying good old government,
GMPs and FDA regulations. And I'm sorry, but it sucks.
Time for my tea.
Time for tea.
No, you got to wait another minute. You didn't start your timer.
But I want it, I don't know. I want to make sure I am
covering all the bases,
legal,
so we don't get
and I'm compliant, and there's no issues within the FDA. I'm pretty sure they're not going to mess with me because I'm the little old person. But I don't know. That's who they come after, us little guys.
The store, you can just go to what? JustDigItFarms.com.
JustDigItFarms.com.
JustDigItFarms.com, and we may have a link pop up here in a minute. But
yeah.
Hey Alexa, be quiet.
But yeah, I've just been trying to figure out how to do things legally. Herbalism. I thought we would talk about herbs and herbalism tonight. So this is leading us in there pretty good. You do not have to be licensed
just digging Z's
to be an herbalist. To be a doctor, pharmacist, all these things, you have to be licensed, degreed, all of that. Hey, y'all. But to practice herbalism in the United States, you do not have to have a college degree and you do not have to have a license.
She's got black market tea, Avalon.
But you do have to be compliant with FDA and GMP regulations to sell products. And if you're selling like cosmetic type products, like beauty products like salves and things like that, then you have to be compliant with the beauty product compliant rules. If you're selling things like teas, you have to be compliant with the food laws. If you're selling them as just like a beverage, but if you're selling them as like a medicinal tea, that's a whole nother thing. So I know a lot of people just sell their stuff and they don't worry about it.
Londa makes a good point. When they sold their alpaca poo, they had to sell it as a soil amendment, soil additive instead of fertilizer. It's all about the
I
wording.
mean, it's all about the wording. And I think that that's it. I really don't think it's like a whole big deal, really. I don't know, because I'm just trying to figure it out. But I think more than anything, it's wording.
Mhm.
Like, you can't use the C word. You can't use the word healing. You can't use the word medicinal. You can't use the word treats or heals or cures. Like, it's all about word. When you're wanting to sell herbal products, it's all about the wording and the warning, and the ingredient list. And one thing I've been reading, and some of you may know this, some of you may not, but whenever you list ingredients on your products, they have to be in a certain order. They have to be like all of these different things that you have to be compliant and do. And, I'm all about,
Hey, Teresa.
um, food safety, herbal safety, because, some herbs can cause harm, and some people have allergic reactions
Mhm.
to certain herbs. So they need to know what ingredients are in there and what percentage of the ingredients they are. So I'm all about following the compliance and the rules for your safety, for the consumer safety. But some of it's just ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to get into everything that I've read, but some of it's just crazy.
That's right. I'm not a doctor. I do not know anything.
Yeah. I'm just suggesting. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you what works for me. That
Yeah.
don't mean it's going to work for
I
you.
think that's why it's so hard to find good hazelnut coffee, because it's got nuts
It's
in it,
so good
flavor.
on my throat.
And we have the hardest time finding hazelnut. I don't want to get the flavoring. I want hazelnut coffee.
Hey, I saw somebody ask, and I told myself I'm going to come back to it.
Hey.
What is my favorite
Yes.
tea? My favorite tea this is one of my favorites.
I like it. I don't even have any honey in it. I like it.
Really? This one's one of my favorites. It's mostly chamomile. This is one of my favorites. Roselle is definitely on my top.
Yeah.
My top. What's another one of my favorite teas? I love the blue butterfly pea tea.
Yeah, that's just
That one's fun. I like mullein tea. I like anything like cider flavored pumpkin spice type teas. But this chamomile tea is like a go-to for us.
That's
we
right,
drink
Joanne.
this a lot.
What was that pretty salve you posted? Was that the orange one, the pain salve, or the?
We posted all of them, I think. The orange colored salve that I made, I should have brought it with me. The orange colored salve I made is a muscle rub salve. And we grew cayenne peppers this year, and I got arnica flowers, cayenne pepper, and comfrey root, and infused it into oh shoot, my mind just went almond oil, sweet almond oil, for like months, and strained that out, and then added beeswax to it and some essential oils that help with pain, like copaiba is really good for muscle pain. Some mints, peppermint, spearmint. I really wanted to add wintergreen, but I didn't have any. So different oils, essential oils I added to it. That was for pain. And it has a little bit of heat to it.
I like it. It's not real strong,
not a lot
like
of heat.
A Bengay or an Icy Hot, but because it burns Tracy up.
Yeah, I can't do hot
but
things.
It's real mild, but it really works. Mom used it the other night, and it helped her a lot. I used it, and it really works. It calms you.
It eases it.
Yes.
It eases that spasm.
So Roselle, you have to plant every year, right?
Yeah.
Even the new variety.
Because
when the frost hits at T-Law, as soon as that frost hits it, it's gone. It's a tropical plant, and it just can't take any cold weather.
It's hardy. I want to say it's hardy in zones 10 to 11. and we're zone 8B here in
Right.
central Alabama. So we grow it as an annual. But you can start it as a seed in February in your greenhouse,
Mhm.
and it will get to be
Oh,
a
10 foot
tall
Yeah.
plant, and you can harvest it in one season.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, you're right, Sandra. Grocery stores and companies don't have to comply. Organic, fat-free, sugar-free.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I
whatever.
know.
And
Yep.
you know, they don't have to list all the ingredients.
Kathy Catfish McIntyre just got her roselle seeds from Hoss. Can't wait to try this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you get the new? Is he selling seeds on the new one, the dwarf one?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. He's selling. It's called St. Kitts
St.
Roselle.
Kitts.
It's a new variety that blooms earlier. It stays a little bit smaller, I think, and it blooms earlier. So that way we'll be able to harvest those calyx. It'll be able to form its calyxes, and we can harvest those before we get a frost. So we're super excited about that. And it's one that's in our collection.
Mhm.
He traded the old one out and put the
Oh,
new
he did. He
variety
put
in
St.
our
Is
collection.
that no? That's
Yep.
the herbs.
Let's
It
look
is
at
herbs.
let's look at. So if you don't know, and I know many of you do, we partnered with Hoss Tools, our friends Greg and Sheila at Hoss Tools. They're in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And
Georgia.
we partnered with them. This is going on our 3rd year, and created a medicinal herb seed collection. And we're not supposed to call it a medicinal herb seed collection, I don't think.
Who cares?
But we are. So we partnered with them and created these 2 awesome, like they're really, really good medicinal herb seed collections. And I contacted him and said, Greg, I need you to send me 2 more kits. I'm out of seeds. I need to be able to show everybody. So he sent me the 2 kits in the mail. And this one is our deluxe collection. Comes in this cute little tin. And in the deluxe collection is,
Ta-da!
let's see, you can you pull them up there? I'm out of room.
It don't have a list. He would have a little.
Let's just show them the seeds. We're talking
All right.
all about
Here we
herbs
go.
tonight.
Got Roselle hibiscus.
Roselle hibiscus.
It has
Broadleaf sage. This is just traditional garden sage. Calendula. Oh my gosh, that's a favorite. Calendula is awesome to make our salves and teas with. Really good for teas. Toothache plant, Spilanthes or toothache plant. Let me tell a story about this. We're going to talk
Here's
about
a little
each one
story
bit.
we'd like to tell about the toothache plant that. What?
This is awesome. This really works. Is my Renee, you on here tonight? Renee said the orange sap. So our little grandson Cooper is teething, and he's got his well, I guess his molars are coming in. Anyway, he's been teething, and it hurt. It's painful for babies. So I made him a little tincture of toothache plant and gave it to her. And they at nighttime after they brush his teeth, they rub it on his little spot right there. They rub the tincture
On
just
the
a little
tooth.
bit on his tooth where it hurts, and it just numbs it. And Renee said that he's gotten to where he asks for it. He wants the tincture on his gum at night. And when they put it on there, he just goes, ah. It really works. It really, really works. So all I did when I made this is we just harvested the flowers and infused it in
I hear you say
vodka.
What'd you say? Her comment got blocked from YouTube.
Uh-oh.
I hear you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, when we start saying the government,
yeah,
something
probably
starts happening.
But this, I did do it with vodka, and I know he's a baby, but they're just like putting just a little tiny drop. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's rambling on.
Holy basil or tulsi, Man, this is a great adaptogenic herb. This is an awesome, awesome herb. It helps you to be able, your nervous system and your nerves, and you to be able to adapt to whatever like situation that you're in. It also helps your body to be able to adapt to what your body needs. This helps provide. Peppermint. Everybody loves peppermint. Good for headaches, good for colds, congestion.
It's really good if you have that peppermint oil. You can rub a little bit around your nose and it'll open up your sinuses really quick.
Yep. Chamomile. We're drinking it right now. Purple coneflower or echinacea. Everybody knows what that's for. Helps to boost that immune system. And I have been pumping my echinacea tincture right back there every day for the past week because I've kind of felt a little crummy. But echinacea is something that you do not want to take all the time. Like you just want to take it for a brief period of time when you feel like you need it to build that immune system up.
Hey,
that's not something you want to take all the time.
Hey, and before we get on this last one, Chance had a good point. RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearing is tomorrow. Everybody, please pray, because one more vote and it doesn't work. So we can only afford to lose one. So we gotta pray for RFK Jr. He's gonna help change the food system.
Yep. Lemon balm. And lemon balm, excellent nervine, referred to as the gladdening herb because it lifts your spirits and makes you happy and calms your nerves.
And that was all in the deluxe kit
collection. Now, also when you order the collections, with the collections, you also get these. You get these information. I'll let you pull the others out. You get these informational cards that tells you. I worked on pulling this information together and getting it to Hoss, and they created these information cards. But it tells you medicinal uses, and then on the back, it tells you planting information, seed depth, when to plant, days to maturity, parts of the plants that you use, like the flowers and the leaves, growing directions, and there's a card for each herb. And you get
these are nice hard stakes.
Yeah.
You can stick them in the ground. They're real long. So,
and this will last you forever.
Yeah, they're hard.
A lifetime. Now this label might eventually wear off, but you could replace it.
And you know what's nice about it? Made in the USA.
What kind of material is this?
It's plastic.
It's like some kind of super
hard
duper hard plastic. That steak will last you the rest of your life. You might have to replace the label. Steak's on forever.
Somebody made it with a 3D printer.
All right. Our next collection is the premium collection. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Lore Vineyard.
Here, let me do that.
Found your store and ordered some honey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. This is for all the mothers.
Motherwort, the herb for mothers. Mullein.
This is for Susie.
Yarrow. Yarrow is an amazing herb for so many different things.
Who knows what the next one is?
Catnip. We've got some catnip in this tea tonight because it's a very soothing, calming herb. Bee balm. Feverfew. Excellent for headaches, migraines. Hyssop. Anise hyssop. Calming. Horehound. Great for cough, soothes your throat, colds, congestion.
And that is in the
premium
collection.
And with that, you get the garden stakes and you get the informational cards. So it's really nice collections, I think. And it's got some good, I like to say, the basic medicinal herbs. You know, there are so many different.
It's like when you start with chickens, you get get 2 or 3 chickens and then it explodes. You get a few herbs and you're hooked.
I chose those herbs to go in these collections because I thought if you are just beginning in herbalism or you're just starting to grow your own herbs, then those would be easy ones to grow. And most all of them have many different uses. Like you can make, and with one herb, it can take care of so many different issues. And you can make tinctures, you can make salves, you can make medicine, you could cook with it, so they have different uses as far as what you can do and make and produce with it, but they also have different uses as far as health.
Hey, Jackie Sailor.
How are
Hey,
ya?
Kathy. What's going on,
Hey,
Sue? Sue Furry. She's back on. Heck yes. She's from Indiana, right? Is that right?
I can't remember.
I think she's from Indiana.
Where are you from, Sue?
I think she's.
So that is our medicinal herb collections. If you're wanting to start your own herb garden, y'all can use our special links if you would, because we do have an affiliate partnership with them, and go order your collections and start growing your own
Hey,
herbs.
can I have some more Just Dig It Z's?
You can.
I want to make me some more.
Here you go. Here's your tablespoon.
Well, I guess I could just put.
You can put it right there.
Can I just put it on top of the other? I'm just going.
Yeah, sure.
Get it extra strong.
That would make it really good.
Oh yeah, I was right. South Bend, Indiana. Y'all had a lot of
Good
snow.
memory. Jackie Bringle Moffat. Hello, Jackie.
Hey, like your heart.
Oh, goodness.
Y'all got to get, if y'all aren't drinking tea, y'all need to get you some tea. I tell you what, it really.
Hey, Edie Rice. Just one.
Oh, I put 2.
Oh, man.
Well,
Just 1 tablespoon.
hey,
You
if
weren't
y'all-
listening. 1 tablespoon per 8 ounces.
I didn't listen in school either.
Tracy,
So-
can you trust dried herb you can purchase from places like Monterey's? There's a few companies that I do like.
Hey, Renee.
I like Mountain Rose Herbs is my top pick because they are all their herbs are sustainably sourced, organic. I do trust Mountain Rose Herbs. Monterey, is that Monterey Bay Herb Co? Because I have ordered from them and I do like their herbs. And anybody I've ordered from, I've done research on, and I feel pretty confident about. The herb, is Monterey the Herb Co? I think that's the same one. Yes. Okay. Yes. I like them. I like Frontier Co-op. I like
Lamp.
for who else? That's basically all I order herbs from. The ones that I order, I grow a lot of our herbs that we use, but there's quite a few things that I do have to order, like the arnica flowers and a few other things that I'm not growing. But I do want to increase my herb garden and grow more things. But those are, yes, Monterey Bay is a good one. Yes.
Hey, Sue. Down in Florida.
So my favorite ones to order from: Mountain Rose Herbs top. That's my top. Monterey Bay Herb Co. and Frontier Co-op.
See you.
Those are 3 of my favorites.
See you, Lori. Good to have you on.
Thanks for joining us tonight. As far as ordering seeds,
Hey, Farming Nature's Way.
Hoss has really good seeds. Also, Baker Creek Rare Seeds has
Johnny's.
good herb seeds. Johnny's has good herb seeds. Strictly Medicinal Herbs has unique herb seeds, and they're a really good herb company.
I remember it was when not long after we first got married, I really got interested in herbal teas when we used to go get our Cafe Vienna coffee at A&P supermarkets. That was a long time ago. And they had those aisles of They had a commercial on TV about herbal teas, and I thought it was so sophisticated. They would drink their little herbal teas, but we started getting that sleepy time tea.
Yeah.
And then there was another tea. Oh, the old English or black tea.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, but
yeah, I'm
nowhere
sure.
near as good as this.
I know, honey. I know.
Nowhere near as good as this.
Nothing
Do you
better to
have
just
a
dig it.
book on making herbal teas? Let me think. You know, the best book that I have is one that I took a class. I am a student at the Herbal Academy, probably a lifetime student.
Bucktown teas.
And I just took this past fall, I took their herbal tea course, and they put out this herb. Oh, it's right there.
She can make me get up.
They created this botanical teas book. You see it right there? It is so good. And I think you can just buy the book. You don't have to take the class. It's Botanical Teas Recipe Book. And it has so many excellent tea recipes in it. Detox blends.
Nice.
Respiratory teas. It's got 150 herbal blends, tea blends in here.
Yeah, Kathy, you're gonna love growing that moringa. That's fun.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
we use it every day, and
Mary
we use it on
Gladstar.
something every single.
Mary Gladstar has some good
Rosemary
herbal books.
Gladstar. Yeah, Rosemary Gladstar has
I was just reading them.
the best books. I think she is like the best.
I like the illustration she has
herbalist.
in her books.
Yeah.
Can you post a link?
Can I post a link of Herbal Academy?
Let me see it. I'll see if I can
Herbal
find it.
Academy. Just go herbalacademy.com. It'll show up. Herbal Academy.
Mm-hmm.
So try that.
International School of Herbal Arts and Sciences.
But if you just go to Herbal Academy, go to their website, they should have this book available on their website. And I'm pretty sure you can buy it without having to take the class.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I'm really enjoying this book. It's got some really good recipes in it, and it's got like good foundation basic recipes, and then you can build on it and add what you want.
Yeah, it's got in here how to add fruits to your teas.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I started doing that. This one has dehydrated oranges that I dehydrated. Cara navel oranges. Let's see. What's in the tea that Jean's drinking? Annette asked. This is our new tea that we just created, our tea blend, and we're calling it Just Diggin' Z's.
Yes.
And it is chamomile, lemon balm, lemon verbena, catnip, dehydrated oranges, some peppermint.
It's not whiskey.
Got
yet.
A few other herbs in it, but that's what we're drinking. It's a good sleepy time tea.
Same here. Eagles turn to win. That's right.
Hey, Todd and Robin.
Farming Nature's Way.
Oh, new sub. We're so
Sweet.
Farming Nature's Way.
Yes.
Nice. Where are y'all from? Glad to have you in our community. You're going to love it here. We've got some awesome people.
We got some tea brewing right here.
Yep. We have the best community. I really think we have the best community.
A lot of women up in here.
We have the sweetest people.
I know.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
Sweet.
Nice.
I like Pennsylvania.
Well, thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about your farm. Okay, herbs. Who has an herb garden? Who's already growing herbs? Who is not and wants to start growing herbs?
Everybody's got some herbs out there growing.
Yeah.
You may not know it.
Yeah. I mean, intentionally growing herbs. I'm sure if you walked out in your yard and you knew what you were looking for, foraging, you would find many healing medicinal plants out there.
How do you keep celery from going bitter?
I think
It's the temps, isn't it?
it would be, I think the answer to that would be to grow it at the right time and grow it in the spring and the fall through winter. Really, the best time for us is fall through winter to grow celery and to harvest it before it starts.
Oh, Joanne
Like
says
bolting.
baking soda. That may make baking soda's got a lot of uses in the garden.
Yeah. Yep.
Sweet growing herbs. That's right.
Hi, Barbara says, I'm growing herbs and I want to learn more about them. Rhonda planted bee balm last year, but looking for ways to use it. Okay, bee balm. Bee balm is an excellent tea for colds and flus. You can make a good tea out of it. It's in the mint family. Bee balm is in the mint family, so it's going to have that nice minty flavor. It is called bee balm because it is a bee balm. When you get stung by a bee or a bug or anything like that out in your garden, you can take the leaves and just rub it on a bee sting. It immediately takes that sting out. It's a bee balm. Bee balm is the same as like bergamot tea. You may have heard of that. It was introduced by the Indians, and it was used as a supplement tea during the Boston Tea Party. Great history to it, but excellent medicinal benefits. I want to say it's high in vitamin C, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe A and K. Can't remember exactly the vitamins, but I do know it is a good antioxidant and really good for colds.
Now, Joanne said that baking soda, if you use baking soda with celery, it sweetens the celery.
Oh.
So see, it's good to know. Like my grandmother, I'm sure y'all all know.
Thank you, Joanne. Good tip.
Like tomatoes, if you use my brain's not working. What Epsom salt, a teaspoon of Epsom salt at the roots, right at the root ball, it actually keeps it from getting a lot of diseases, the brown spot, and it's
blossom mineral.
Yes, what is it? Potassium or magnesium? But I don't know. It's one of those. It's very good.
What's the name of that book again?
This book, Botanical Tea. Good gosh.
Botanical Teas Recipe Book by Herbal Academy. Just see this logo here. You'll know you're in the right place. Go to herbalacademy.com. And that's there. They're a school. They are a online herbal school. But I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe you could just buy the book from their store. Renee Britnell says she's learning to grow herbs for the first time this year. Luckily for me, I got a good mentor. Linda does sage, rosemary, lemongrass, and lavender, but I want to do more. Yes. Once you grow your first herb or use your first herb, it's on. You're ready to grow them all. Joanne wants to know, does bee balm spread like mint plants? Yes, it does. Now, it's not as spreading invasively as peppermint, spearmint, those mints, but it does spread. It spreads by the rhizome root and it spreads by the seed. So it is a spreader, but I mean, it's never really been in our garden as invasive as peppermint is. I plant bee balm in my garden, but I would never plant peppermint in my garden. It's in pots.
Rosemary, lemongrass, and lavender.
All right.
Linda Casella.
Roselle Alicia grows tart. Herbs.
Yeah, it does have a little tart to it. It puts you some honey in it.
Glenda says, I do not have a greenhouse to start my roselle, so when do I start my seeds? As soon as the soil warms up, Glenda, get your seeds in the ground. As soon as, I would say, like when you feel safe to plant your tomatoes out in the garden, go ahead and pop you some roselle seeds out in the garden because you want to get them out as soon as you can, but it's got to be warm enough or they will not germinate.
I was just thinking that Joanne was saying that's true because if your soil is acidic,
Mm-hmm.
your plants won't taste real good.
Yeah.
And if so, baking soda helps neutralize the soil,
Yeah.
so it'll make it taste better. So
Yeah.
it does. It makes it sweeter.
Annette, Roselle is tart. It has that tart cranberry-like flavor. Sweeten it up with some honey. Let's see. Lori has peppermint in a pot, rosemary, and she lost her sage.
Hey, Megs.
Hey, Meg's little house in the country. How you doing? We have Farming Nature's Oasis. We have a 7-acre homestead, was a yard, turned it into a 3-acre market garden. COVID hit, shut it down. Now it's a pasture for our critters, and we grow all of our own food year round. Awesome. Good job.
Guess what I had out in our lower pasture this morning about 4 a.m. It's the first one I've seen in a long time, but it was a big wild boar hog. Woo! Out there in the food plot.
Sue asked for the name of the book again.
That's not good.
Botanical Teas Recipe Book, Herbal Academy. Just go to herbalacademy.com and you should be able to get it there. It's the best tea book I found. Rosemary Gladstar does have some really good books with recipes, not just tea recipes, but salves, tinctures, ox meals, everything. Vera has an herb garden. All right. What are you growing, Vera?
Nick grows chamomile.
Never been successful growing chamomile. Chamomile is a little different, and I've learned something this year. I did a little experiment. So chamomile does not like heat and humidity. So it's super hard to grow it here in the summer. Like you can't. It's not going to happen. So I've usually started my seed in the greenhouse in February, planted it out mid-March or so, usually about mid-March after our last frost. I'll plant my chamomile out. And then I have enough time to get a little bit of harvest off of it. And then it's hot and it burns up and it goes away. But this year, I've planted some in the fall. I started some chamomile seeds around August. And then I planted a few plants in my garden, just a few, just to test it. And I've left some in pots in my greenhouse. Well, the ones in the garden that I planted made it fine. Snow didn't bother it. They made it. Well, we didn't get snow.
Yeah.
But the frost didn't bother it. They made it fine. They look, they're okay. They don't look great, but they're alive. The ones in the greenhouse are thriving. So I'm going to be able to plant those mid-March or so. And I should be able to get a much better harvest from my chamomile because it's going to be much more established plant and earlier this year. So I think I've learned a little secret here with the chamomile to start the seeds in the greenhouse in August, overwinter them, or just plant them out in the garden. And, if some of you that are in really cold places, then you might want to leave them in your greenhouse, or if you put them in your garden, cover them and protect them. But like mine did fine. And we got down to what?
8 or 9.
And mine did fine. So they're fine. So they're going to have a head start this year. So hopefully I'll get more flowers to harvest. So I think that's the big secret with chamomile. They do not like the heat.
It was 4 a.m., Susie. I was still snoozing.
Also, calendula does not like our heat. So that's something that we have to grow spring or fall.
Well, and like Roselle, once the frost hits, you got to harvest those calyx before that frost.
Yep.
That's the biggest plant I've ever seen that will be as big and mighty as it is, and then as soon as it gets a little cold, it just withers up.
It withers up.
Nothing.
A lot of people I've heard a lot of people say that it's super hard to get their herbs started. Now growing herbs is one of the easiest things you can grow.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you're just
except for what, lavender. Spanish
lavender's
lavender
hard to
is
grow here.
kind of hard for us.
It is hard for us to grow here. It's crazy. It's a Mediterranean herb, and it does not like our heat and our humidity, and it does not like wet lavender. We're talking about lavender. It does not like wet feet at all. Has to have super, super good drainage. And a good little secret when you're planting lavender in your hole, put you some sand in your hole, put you some
little
gravel.
pebbles. Yeah.
Some gravel, some sand in your hole, and
it likes
and
good
then
aerated,
put some soil,
aerated soil, good drainage, permeable,
good drainage.
real.
And grow. Don't really try to grow the English lavenders. They don't do as well here. The Spanish lavender does really well. It does a lot better here. And my big secret to growing lavender is I plant it every spring and every fall.
Yeah.
I plant lavender plants.
She makes a run to petals and comes home with a truck full.
Every spring and every fall, I put lavender plants in the ground because lavender's going to last me about 2 years and then it's going to die. And I want to make sure I've always got lavender growing.
Renee wants to know if you've ever heard of a forgotten apothecary book, Dr. Nicole Apelian.
No, I have not. But it sounds very interesting. What was I saying? So lavender is a little bit tougher to grow, but for the most part, herbs is the easiest thing you can grow. If you're just starting out in gardening, I would say start with a few herbs because they're so easy. There's not very much disease or pest or insect issues with herbs like there are with all of your vegetables and fruits. In fact, most of your herbs are excellent companions in your garden.
Yep, they deter pests.
They deter.
Confuse them.
They confuse.
Get them all messed up.
Yep. That fragrance that they put out is considered a pest confuser, and a lot of your bad guys does not like the fragrance, but a lot of your good guys love it. So your pollinators and your beneficial insects are drawn to herbs and bring them to the garden, bring them to the plant, and a lot of your bad guys don't like the herbs.
Okay, so Cheryl's saying that book is not on their website.
Oh,
but Lori
no.
says it's on Amazon.
Is
so
it?
They're so
Okay.
maybe that book is only offered to people that take their course.
Maybe.
So, but if you
Maybe.
can find it on Amazon,
Yeah.
have at it.
Yeah. So herbs are easy to grow. I think starting herbs from seed is where people have a little bit of a problem, is what everybody that I've talked to says, because a lot of your herbs are tiny, tiny, tiny seeds, super tiny seeds, most of your herbs. Let's look at oregano. Oregano is a great herb. It is a natural antibiotic.
Oregano oil.
Yep. I made us some oregano tincture. Yeah. Look at the seed of this oregano, how super tiny it is. Like it is just like so. Y'all probably, I don't know. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, they can see it.
It's so tiny. Like it's
almost like a pinhead.
It's like tiny. So the key to sowing these seeds to get them to germinate is to sow them on the very surface of your soil. Don't even bury them. Just sow them on the surface of your soil. One thing is most of your herbs need light to germinate. So you can't bury them in the soil.
They found it on Thrift Books for $35. Edie Rice saw it on the
website. Good. Thanks for sharing that with us. That's a key to most of your herbs is to just sow them on the surface of your soil.
She's
First,
done sewed it on her table.
whenever you have your seed trays, go ahead, fill them up with soil, wet them down really good, moisten your soil really, really good. Sow these seeds just on the surface of your soil. And then you could take some perlite and just kind of sprinkle it very, very lightly over those seeds if you wanted to. Or you can just sow it right on the soil and leave it. And then just make sure whenever you're watering that you use like a real fine mister. Don't, heavy water it and bury those seeds into that soil. And they need light to germinate. So that's a key when you're starting most of your herbs. Now, some of your herbs.
I really like basil, though. I love the basil
You
on a
love
tomato
basil.
sandwich.
So good, so good. Now, some of your seeds like moringa and the blue butterfly pea and okra, seeds like that. See, this is a moringa seed. See how big it is and see how hard it's got, like a really
I've never
super
seen that. I
hard.
didn't know
You never
that.
seen a
I
moringa seed?
I didn't know that was a.
It's got a really hard.
It's like a little miniature
shell.
cotton.
Yeah. This seed, this hard shell, you need to go ahead and scarify, or the scarification.
No,
Scarification.
scarification. It scares it into
Scarify the seed. And what that means is because of this hard shell, it's not going to germinate in the soil. You need to kind of nick the seed a little bit. Just scrape it, nick it, and soak it. Soak it in water, most of them 24 hours. Some of them are less. Most of them you want to soak for at least 24 hours. Some of them is just 8 hours, whatever. Just soak it for a while. And then sow your seed. So a lot of your hard shell seeds need to go through, you need to scarify those seeds to get them to germinate.
That's pretty good. Susie said you can put tiny seeds in a pepper shaker with sand.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps them from, making them sow it even.
Good idea. Whenever I'm sowing wildflower seeds, I usually mix them up with sand and just scatter them so they'll scatter well.
Did we grow Mexican basil?
Mexican basil?
Joanne says she grew Mexican basil. What's the ones we got? Because it smells so good. I've
never grown Mexican basil, I don't think. I've grown cinnamon, Thai, lemon, all kinds of basils. Holy basil, sweet basil, Genovese.
She takes that.
Tons of basils, but I've never grown Mexican.
What's them tomatoes you kind of roast and they're real chewy, and you put that cheese, goat cheese, and basil and olive oil.
Yep.
Oh my God!
I usually take the cherry tomatoes or the little Romas, little Juliets.
Yes.
And roast them or dehydrate them, and then I'll put them up in the freezer, and then I'll pull them out and use them like that. But this is a moringa seed, and you can see it's also bigger. So you want to plant this about twice the depth of the size of the seed. So that's the size of the seed. So I'm going to plant it about that deep in the soil. Does that make sense? And then some of your herbs.
Hold on a minute, we got something important.
Okay.
Greg, it's where the other deer stand when they're feeding, but I mean, he's pretty doggone big. I think he's at least 150 pounds, if not bigger. That's a lot of bacon. He just needs to come out in the daylight.
Okay, some of your herb seeds and flower seeds need cold temperatures to germinate, just like wildflowers, like larkspurs and poppies and Johnny jump ups, all of those things. They need to go through wintertime. They need that cold temperatures through the wintertime to be able to germinate and produce flowers early spring. So that's why we sow those seeds in the fall or winter, and they go through the cold temperatures, and then early spring, they'll bloom. So some of your herbs need those same cold temperatures. And I'm going to tell you a few of them, the ones that are in our collection. So echinacea, horehound, poppies, motherwort, hops. There's a few others. Who
Yeah, that's
else?
how you spell it, Kathy.
Those for sure need some cold temperatures.
That's
So
stratification.
that's cold stratification.
Mhm.
So you can mimic that, what nature does, and put them in the refrigerator for, a couple of weeks. And what you do is just take your paper towel, wet your paper towel, put a few seeds in it, fold your paper towel up, put it in the fridge in a Ziploc, put it in the fridge for a couple of weeks before you're ready to sow it. And that tricks it into thinking it got that season of cold temperatures and it'll germinate better. So there's just, when you're starting herbs from seeds, think the key is to know each seed, what it needs. And then you should have success in growing herbs from seed. Now, some herbs I would never even try to grow from seed. Things like lavender, rosemary, those are really hard to grow from seed, really hard. They're easier to propagate from cuttings. So you can take lavender and take a soft stem, not the hard woody stem, but it does better on like a softer stem of the lavender and rosemary, and cut it. Peel off some of the bottom leaves where you see the little nodes, stick it in some root hormone, stick it in some potting soil, and it'll take root and root. You can also take those, do the same thing, and just stick it in some water, and it'll start developing roots.
What's the list again?
Then you can reproduce those plants yourself. Those are too hard to grow from seed for me. Echinacea, horehound, poppies, larkspurs, motherwort, hops, those all need some cold stratification. Let me see. Any others on my list I can tell you. Those are the ones that are in the collection that need it. In the collections. Some that are, I can tell you off the top of my head, that need the scarification process would be moringa, blue butterfly pea, okra.
Yeah, okra. That's what I was going to mention.
Morning glory.
I know my older people that's done going on, they would always tell us, soak them things in some buttermilk. Some would soak in okra seeds in buttermilk. Some would just soak in water, a glass in the windowsill for a few days before you plant, because it softens that seed up so it's able to just bust out right when you put it in the ground. Because sometimes when we plant, it's so dry, it just doesn't get enough moisture around in that seed to soak in it to get it to sprout.
Oh, cardinal basil, Alicia. I planted cardinal basil too the past 2 years, and I love it. I liked it more to use as like a cut flower. I really did, and it made everything made the arrangement smell so good, and it makes this beautiful flower head on it. It's so pretty. Cardinal basil is what we're talking about. It's really a neat one to grow. My favorite to grow culinary wise is just the good old sweet basil. I love it. Probably the best as far as culinary. But as far as teas, I like the holy basil or tulsi. I like cinnamon basil. I like Thai basil. Those make really good teas. Lemon basil. They're good to cook with too, but the sweet Italian's my favorite to cook with. I was wondering why my wildflower seeds never germinated. Michelle said, yes, some need the cold. And think about it like this. The wildflowers that bloom early spring, you usually want to sow most all of those in the fall, early winter. The wildflowers that bloom in the summertime, you're sowing those in the spring. Does that help? I think we're about out of time, but does anybody have any herb questions as far as growing herbs? Anything
I keep
or
thinking
any
that
suggestions?
candy.
Does anybody have any suggestions on growing herbs? Okay, y'all. Well, y'all, next Monday night, we won't be live. I won't be here. I've got to go do dreaded bookkeeping and taxes and all that jazz. So, excuse me. I will not be here next Monday, so we won't be doing a live next Monday. The following Monday, which I think is the 17th, we will be doing a live. Is that the 17th?
I don't know.
Anyway, we won't be live next Monday, but the next Monday we will be live. There was a question.
Which herbs are perennials?
Okay. Rosemary, lavender, oregano. Let me just look at my box over here. Rosemary, lavender, oregano, chamomile is considered perennial, but with it doesn't like our
Is this in
heat,
the
so
store yet?
it's the tea diffuser is not in the store yet, but
Okay,
it will
she's-
be hopefully by next week.
Give a few days.
Chives, echinacea, marshmallow, oregano, tarragon, yarrow. Mullein is a biennial. Some of your herbs are biennial. So what that means is the first year they're developing roots and vegetation. The second year they flower. The third year they're gone. But a lot of them will reseed from the flower. So if you let it go to seed, the plant will keep producing.
So, what's your best black tea you'd recommend over the counter? We don't really drink black tea.
We don't really drink black tea.
We've not really drank a lot of black tea, Michelle. I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that. Does anybody have a recommendation? The best over-the-counter in the store black tea to purchase?
English radishes. Yummy. Pickled.
Pickled. Picked all my English radishes yesterday.
That's something we were trying to grow and do. Beets.
Yeah. I always
Beets
seem to
is
have a hard time.
Hard for us to grow.
Well, they're easy to grow.
No,
for
not
some
over the
reason-
counter. Your tea.
Oh, my tea. A black tea?
Do we have one? We don't have one.
I don't
yet.
have a black tea.
What was that tea tree we had out there? Not tea tree oil, but
Camellia
yeah,
sinensis.
that's it.
Camellia sinensis
Deadly.
is a camellia plant. And Camellia sinensis is the tea plant.
Mhm.
That's where all of your tea comes from. Not herbal tea, but tea comes from
it's just a
Camellia
shrub.
sinensis.
It looks like a shrub.
It's a camellia.
Yeah, and the I can't remember the guy's name, but Rashika, her husband, was the Rashika. Her husband was the minister of tea in where was it? Sri Lanka. And we met them. They live in Prattville, Alabama.
Yeah.
And we had that. It grew for a while, and then I don't know, about 3 years, 4 years.
Still got it.
It's still living.
Well, I had 3.
Okay.
It's
pretty cool. You just take the leaves and set them in the sun, and
you just dry the leaves, or you can steep them fresh, and that's where you get your green tea from. All your tea comes from the Camellia sinensis leaves on the plant.
Y'all should get a bush.
But the different teas like green tea, black tea, orange pekoe tea, all the different teas is developed by the way the leaf is harvested and dried. But all tea comes from that plant.
That's pretty cool.
Camellia sinensis.
She says white chocolate, coconut black. I hear you. Oh, man.
Michelle says, I want to order yours. Just saying. I've only drank Lipton, but it's nasty. Okay. Well, hopefully I'm going to be able to get some the 2 blends that I've created on our store soon. I'm just trying to make sure. I'm trying to make sure I follow the rules and do things right. So soon as I can, I'm going to get some teas on our
Rhonda
website.
wants to know if you have a good tincture recipe book.
A good tincture recipe book. Rosemary Gladstar's book, what is it called? Recipes for Healing, I think is what her book's called. And she has some good tincture recipes.
Now, how did she get
in
away
there.
with saying that recipes for healing?
Rosemary Gladstar's the mother of herbs.
Well,
I'm sure she's.
Well, you're
figured
just
things
dig it,
out.
lady. Whatever.
Let me see. Let me see what she says.
About tinctures.
Also, Chestnut School of Herbs is a good resource. Juliet Blankenspore. She's a good source for books and recipes on herbs. Rosemary Gladstar's medicinal herb. Here it is. Rosemary Gladstar's herbal recipes. That's a pretty good book. She has a lot of different recipes in there for different
That's on
things.
Amazon. $16.32.
Yep.
Assam black tea.
That's a good one.
Yeah, black tea. I like it. I don't know why we just haven't. Black currant tea. I've seen that too. CURRANT.
Yeah.
Aura.
Yep.
Well, all righty.
All right, y'all. Well,
Tea time's over.
y'all keep the young lady Avalon mentioned, her preacher's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all keep her in your prayers, and let's pray for JFK so he can get in there and make some changes for our health system.
Yep. And that family that lost all their lives in that plane crash and helicopter crash.
All those kids on that skating team. That was so sad.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Julie with Roe and Co.
Yes.
Her family. Let's keep them in your prayers.
Her name's Melissa, that Evelyn said.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all keep praying for Tracy. She's going through a lot right now, and surgery's coming up on the 24th.
Yep.
So peace out.
Yep.
Just dig it.
We love you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and thanks for supporting us. And
thanks for everybody.
Thanks for everything, y'all. We love you guys, and we will see y'all at the farm table, not next Monday, but the next Monday. Y'all have a blessed week.
Woohoo!